Oh, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Thunderdog Top Dog Season 4, the TAsc alongside of Lore. We are in Game 4 of Team Ascension versus Integrity Gaming. And how much BM is 2M, our Integrity Gaming player in the red trunks spawning the bottom left, Mr. VOJ, or VOJ.
Ooh. And up in the upper left-hand corner of Deadwing from Team Ascension, in the blue, the Protoss, we have Creature.
Yeah, and one thing I've noticed, this Ascension logo floating by that Nexus, because he's in the blue, the logo's a little blue, it looks really nice. It's a good pick.
It does look really nice. And I think this Moose complements this hatchery very well.
Yes, they
also.
It's got a little bit of the Zergy outline, and then, you know, of course, the red. I think it all matches up.
Yeah. I tell you what, these teams are really bringing it in logos, if nothing else.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I was going to kind of comment on that makes this a little interesting is, you know, we were talking about, you know, that kind of natural fifth base, but when you spawn, you know, top and bottom on the left side, those, like, left two bases, you can't seriously think that you can build there with the other guy so close. So this will be probably one where they expand away a little bit, especially the Zerg player. But this game, depending on where they expand, it can really crack things wide open in terms of counterattacks and things. So I mean, if you're playing
like,
Zerg,
those bases,
where do you expand to? I mean, in order. I mean, obviously the first four are pretty obvious.
Right. Well, I don't know if they're super obvious. It may just be... I actually feel like for the Zerg player, you would take, obviously, the natural here. Then I think you would go just up and to the right a little bit for that. But then I think for your fourth, you would also go to the right.
Oh, and expand into that bottom right corner?
Yeah. The other base is probably fine, too. But that's the attack path coming off of that high ground from the Protoss. So I feel like just keep on going to the right for the expansion is probably the better choice here.
And that's absolutely where it comes into also, you know, army and what kind of army you want to go. Do you go mobile? Do you go beefy? That really dictates. You really want to align those two strategies. You know, if I'm expanding away, do I want, you know, something big and beefy that I can stick at one, or do I want mobile and then spread out so maybe I can outpace him just in terms of running around? So all of that remains to be seen as you would expect, both players expanding pretty quickly.
Yeah, I do want to touch on this gateway expand for the Protoss here a little bit. It is... this build kind of came about as a result of some play that kind of people mixing it up towards the end of Wings of Liberty. People carried in the Heart of the Swarm with the advent of the Mothership Core. And it does leave the natural expansion more vulnerable, but due to the way this map is and how wide that is at the choke, and actually how the gas is exposed there, opting to do that, I don't feel like it's a terrible choice, especially if he's going to take a third base quickly. That way, if you lose your natural to some type of big attack, you at least still have your gateway and cyber core intact.
Yeah, and 4 gates total coming out of Creature to begin. He's kind of walling off that right side and wants to rely on those rocks for early protection as the Zerg goes ahead and takes a third base. And a nice little proxy pylon in a sneaky location may have gotten scouted by that Zergling. He's trying to go up to scout, but it looks like just a little bit of pressure here by Creature. Just kind of wants to see a couple things, and in comes that aggressive pylon.
Yeah, he's definitely going to try and make something happen before gates. The warp gate research is actually lining up perfectly. This is very well executed. Now, unlike a Forge Expand, this pressure does not have +1 attack. The Zealots won't be that as good, but it is hitting earlier. So Zerg is definitely going to lose this third base, and he's just going to have to hang on from here.
Yeah, I mean, when you have 4 Zealots that can warp in on top of the hatchery, always good news there. And he'll try to get a little something done here. It depends on how many units he reinforces with. But the Zerg being denied that third is pretty rough for him.
Speed is here now, and these losing some He does take care of the probe, losing a lot of Zerglings he didn't really have to lose. This is kind of the cost of not doing the scouting as diligently as you can in the early game, letting that kind of obvious pylon location by. He does have a couple spines and 3 queens, but these are a lot of zealots. He's going to need some good micro, and one of these queens is about to go down and does.
Yeah, it's getting pretty rough. Meanwhile, I mean, a counterattack trying to go near the top, reinforced with a sentry. That's not going to happen. And these zealots are wreaking havoc, going to try to kind of get out and away. And, oh, Zerg wants to take down that pylon so bad, and definitely will get it if he target fires. So that will put an end to the warp-ins.
Warp-in finishes.
Yeah, I mean, but still in a little bit of trouble here, as there is that second pylon hidden away on the low ground. Did take out the probe earlier, so that won't be as much of an issue, but you gotta love that. And back at home, I mean, Creature's got that sentry, which will do defend that pretty much forever. I believe it's got enough for just about 2 force fields, so he's gonna take care of business. And Zerg still no third base, so you can see the supply. He is in big time trouble.
Yeah, he's definitely got himself in a tough position. I mean, just the drone to probe count right now, 48 over 26 for probes over drones is just almost insurmountable from the Zerg perspective. I feel like he needs to go ahead and stay in for a while. He's getting roaches out. If he can clean this up, take his third base, and then do something aggressively, if he can deny the Protosses third base for a while, he might be able to claw his way back in. We do have a hallucinated Oracle coming across the map to do some scouting, and if he makes the Zerg feel like the Oracles might be possibly out before he realizes that could also be an added bonus, but just gonna get the good scouting information.
Yeah, and it looks like no such luck, as the Zerg probably knows right away now, especially with how fast that Oracle's dying, that it just is no big deal. And yeah, that Spore Crawler detecting it and certainly will take it out. So he's putting that back at the front now, so because he knows with the hallucinated one, there's definitely no chance of air. So nice little scout there, and able to kind of deduce that he can put that up front, try to a little bit limit surface area.
These 2 Overlords really vulnerable. That little supply blocker Zerg player.
He's got 2 more coming out, so he will have just 1. But it will be, as you mentioned, a substantial supply block. And oh, look at this back at home, trying to go for a massive warp. And oh, swing and a miss on the force fields, and just a quick tap out. GG. So